Barney's on the rant as we approach 1:15 in the morning. And
There's nothing better than X Factor in rugby league.
At Frothy's AM, and we're going to go
he's
check
getting
in
all
with
smooth.
the... Let's get to... all right, to Broncos.
Love songs dedications.
So the love muscle, they call me, that's it. The Broncos kick off play Penrith on the Friday night.
Well,
Cowboys,
for 'em.
Dragons, Dolphins, Tigers, Raiders, Titans, Para is their first couple of months. They play all the...
They got the worst draw ever.
They play all the Brisbane, Queensland teams twice. Also the Eels, Panthers, Rabbitohs, Raiders, Storm twice. Lots of Saturdays and Fridays and Thursdays in there, as you tend to expect with them. So
Friday 7:30 Suncorp.
There it is. Logan Bayliss, Jock Madden, Ethan Quay Ward, Tyson Smoothie, Marty Tapau found a club there, and they welcome home the prodigal son, Reece Walsh.
What are you laughing about?
They've lost.
Barney?
They've lost Tyson Gamble, Zach Hoskins, Jermaine Azarko, Ryan James, Reece Kennedy, Brenko Lee, Tamari Martin, David Mead, Tessie New, and Jake Turbin. Any final words on David Mead?
He seemed... You know what? I follow his actual page that he's got, and he does his podcast, and he puts out inspirational quotes every day, and I don't always follow them, but you know what, when I'm feeling sad, I see him post something inspirational, and I go, that's nice. It warms me up a little bit. So
thanks, David.
It's
like following John Cena on Twitter. He's basically a desktop calendar.
You know what? He's putting out positive vibes
I'd
to
take
society.
him over
So I think
Philip
that's
Sammy
great.
any day of the week.
You don't bloody say.
Don't bring that up at all.
Who's
You're
the
giving
other
me...
ex-winger that's gone on to become a professional punter? He's nice. He's a good guy. The other one you used to like. Titans winger.
He went on to be a punter.
Yeah, he's a punter now, and I can't think of his name. Literally, he is, and does well.
But the only one I can think of from like 10 years ago who hasn't played in the club for ages is Kevin Gordon. But
No, the other winger.
Michael Gordon.
no, he wasn't. He wasn't a winger. He wasn't a winger at the Titans. I had to play him at fullback.
Anthony.
Oh, the Don.
The Don, of
I
course.
love the Don.
Yeah, the Don.
Don.
I still
loves his
Yeah,
racing
you
now.
were trying to make a statue of... He was the first statue that you wanted built.
I still. What do you mean? He's the only
No, he's a
statue I
punter.
want built.
No,
does
you
well.
wanted,
Good on him, I
you
hope-
wanted a Fogarty statue as well.
not
Also, if you
anymore.
do enjoy your racing, you can also check out progretracing.com.au
Does he?
and see.
Oh,
my-
watch out.
If you
What?
get Anthony Don and Pro Group Racing, I'll come and watch the show live.
You know, see if it's coming to show.
I'm not friends with him. I just like him a lot. He'd never speak to a
You're the empire. You've
lowly
got
like
the
me.
30,000 social media
No, that's
geeks.
that's Olivet. That's the other guy.
Anyway, check out rugbyleaguemerch.com.
Right.
We haven't plugged them. Look at this stuff we're wearing. It's pretty cool. Look at that. Hats. The One More Club. You'll know all about that. Footy and Frothy's shirt. You got hat. The hats are tremendous. The Steins are great.
That's a brilliant.
Thanks to everyone that's bought some. Scotty and the crew, they do a great job. And all proceeds go directly to our pocket, which I'd like. So there's also Men in League somewhere involved, but check them out. Buy some gear. It's good.
That would have to be the worst plug I've ever heard in my life.
Why?
4 Men in League.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning and we've been
Bro.
drinking for fucking 5 hours, bro.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I've done the losses and gains, haven't I? I've done that. I've done the draw. Give us your 17, Barn.
Reece Walsh will play fullback, I would imagine. Corey Oates and Cobbo will be on the wings. Farnworth and Staggs in the centres.
Yep.
Ezra Mam and Adam Reynolds in the halves. Payne Haas, depending if he wants to be there or not. And Flegler in the front row. I think Moses should probably play hooker, but I wouldn't be surprised if Walters starts at
Moses?
hooker.
Moses.
Blake Moser.
They've got a rap on him.
young,
Got a rap
young
on him,
hooker
yeah.
who's come through.
No, it'll be one of the other.
It'll be
shitbags,
Walters.
but,
They'll play
yeah.
Walters there, but young Moser has been playing representative footy since he's been in junior football, and is
There seems to be mail around it will happen.
massive. He's apparently a massive rap on being one of the best young hookers coming through the NRL, but we'll play Walters there for now. We've got Ricky and Capewell in the back row, Carrigan at 13. There's a bit of a question mark here whether you play Pakes or Madden at 14. Paliasia, TC Rabadi and Marty Tapau in the 17.
I think they'll play Pakes, but I think they should play Jock because he had something. At least.
Well, I've got Pakes as my hooker, to be honest.
Well,
I just think he's
it's
played a little
it's
bit
a big
there
because they need a hooker there. But yeah.
I agree is that they probably will go with Walters. I don't necessarily
Apparently
think
Blake Moser was like
Walters.
the under-19 Australian hooker and
but
all the rest of it.
What they might do, it might be an Ezra Mam situation where they give it a little bit to see how it goes, because not too long ago I did see an interview with Pakes and sort of what Brisbane, at least from what I've seen them saying, and apparently it's between Walters, Pakes and Kobe Heverington, which I think what lets Heverington down there is that he's versatile. So
Heverington's
maybe
a back
you
rower.
use it. Well, he can play hooker or back row. So I think
he's
if
a back
you're
rower.
going to have him on
He
the
just
bench coming
runs
on
over people.
wherever. So
yeah.
but that's what Brisbane said originally. If they do have raps on this kid, then I think maybe more in the season they might give him a chance.
Yeah.
Put someone before
Well, it'll be
him
6 or 8
and
weeks
see.
down the year. But yeah, apparently Blake Moser is an absolute gun hooker. So see what happens.
So their pre-seasons have been all sorts of fun and games.
Oh,
They've had
hasn't
the
it?
Ola Pahu drama. They've had the other drama with
The podcast and
the
Cobbo.
podcast,
Payne Haas,
Sel and Cobbo.
Cobbo.
They've had Payne Haas's mum, unfortunately, been involved in an incident. They've had blokes wanting out, blokes wanting in.
I'm not sure there's many
think,
of them that want in.
it's clearly it's a basket case.
It's crazy.
Poor old
Yeah.
Ben Eichen up there probably wishing he was still just in his cruisy role.
Playing 360.
I also wish that, and I
So
think
do we
most
all.
people.
That's right, we all do,
wish
but that's
that.
fine. Apparently, Braith's grown a lot of people. We'll get to that later. Not later. We're going 5 hours away. We're
So
going
did
here.
you say what growing on?
Huh?
Did you say Braith's growing on a lot of people?
Yeah, seems like a lot of people like Braith as host.
He probably
Right in, let us know. He's fine. He's all right. He's inoffensive.
Right in and let us know.
I don't watch NRL 360 anymore, so I don't know.
It's fine. Got to plug Wanless on Instagram.
Oh,
Hilarious.
I do watch NRL 420.
Is hilarious. It is outstanding. Come on the show, Ricky. Outstanding, Randy. He's very good. All right, this shitbags team. So they were going to win a comp last year, according to some geek. They've still got the same team. Haven't lost a lot. They've got Carrigan from the start. This should all be good, shouldn't it?
It's like the best thing that they've got, though.
I think it.
Carrigan.
I think it will be, and I'm just gonna say this now.
Carrigan
because
and
Shouldn't
Reynolds.
this all be happy days
Well,
of sunshine
I do
and they're
think
going to make
so,
top four and it's great, or why not?
I think, because
Barney's
I feel like Barney's
yeah.
really got something to say, so I'll get my bit out first. But I am tipping top 8 for Brisbane because the talent that's there and how we see how they can play and how they did for a large chunk of last year before it just seemed to all fall off a cliff. I think it is a top 8 side, and I feel like this year it's close to top 8 or bust, especially for Kevin Walters, the way that they've built up and the way they should have at least made the 8 last year when they were sitting in the top 4 with 6 rounds to go, and then it just completely plummeted. Thanks, Brisbane, for making my Canberra tip wrong. I blame that on the Broncos, but I feel like I just feel like this year it's got to be top 8. They have the talent for top 8. I can see a possibility where they miss out, but I think they should be making the 8 with the talent that they have, with sort of the teams around them. I think on paper at least, and the way that I saw them play, at least for a large part of last year, they are better than Canberra. And if you're talking about them as the parameter for the top 8, I feel like this year, I'm not saying it will happen, but Brisbane should be a better team than Canberra. If
So
that's
just-
where we
just
go.
on
So
that-
did it, Barney?
I'll give him the floor last because I'll go first. Because I actually agree with you. Because as you know, I was bullish on them last year. They played great footy at times. Hopefully, the sticky tape around Reynolds' body holds up because without him, I think they're in a world of trouble. He's a year older, never good. I
Depends how
felt
old you are.
I felt like, well, I'm very old. I felt like they gassed out. I think they were the classic example, the A1 example of, hey, they had him up and going, ready early because a bloke needed to justify his job and
Too
gassed
hard,
out.
too early kind of situation.
And gassed out. That being said, they were particularly bad for that last 6 or 8 weeks. So I don't think Reece Walsh is an upgrade from what they had there. I don't think he is from Tessie New, who could be anything, and maybe even from
Azarko, yeah.
Tamari, more than Azarko. But they've got Selwyn Cobbo, who could be a superstar, but obviously has issues. I actually think what he said in the podcast is
correct, or not
probably
too far
right.
off.
Probably right.
Kevin Walters seems like a great bloke. He said Kevin Walters is a great bloke. He seems like a great bloke.
3 or 4 blokes have come out and said the exact same fucking thing.
And said Adam Reynolds.
Gamble did on a podcast as well, and that's why they booted him.
And said Adam Reynolds basically coaches him. Yeah.
Wasn't it Gamble who said that Reynolds is the real coach?
And it's fine to be Mal Meninga when you've got
the Australian side.
Michael, the bloke that's been there.
Michael Hagan, but
he's
also got the Australian side, so they can coach themselves.
Outside backs like TC Rabadi, who's not happy there at the moment. Payne Haas, one of the best front rowers in the competition, that's not happy there at the moment. I know there's outside fucking parameters when you're talking about Haas.
Yeah.
Like, there's how many players in the last 12 months have had issues about being at the Brisbane Broncos?
I agree.
Yeah.
There's 4, 5, 6 of them.
It's not the and I assume the older blokes know better than to say so in public, but
but does that make it any better that they're not saying it?
Probably not.
They're probably still thinking the same fucking thing. I can guarantee. They asked fucking Corey Oates about it, and all he did was the PR thing about, I'm not going to say anything. And like, if you actually went, no, I'm backing my coach in here, you'd be going, no, he's great. He's brilliant. He does everything he can to bring the team
Corey
together.
Oates is a bit different because he's just saved his career.
Just to butt in quietly, and I'll let you get going.
Yeah.
But to take us right back to 2.5 hours ago, do you then forgive Seabold for what he tried for trying up there? Because maybe you can't win at Brisbane. Maybe the joints were rooted. Maybe no one can make it work unless Darren Lockyer and Gordon Tallis come and coach. Like, maybe it just never work.
As I said, they have the team, the talent to make it work now, which they probably didn't have 2-3 years ago. Just on Selwyn Cobbo, though, I will say this. All of this has happened in the off-season, right? He's not actually played bad as a result yet. So we can't say it's going to impact him either way just yet.
I'm not treating it as
playing
will.
on the wing, I think.
You've got to take him as
How did he go after Origin last year?
I don't think he was horrible. I don't think he was dreadful. He wasn't as good. At the start of the year, there was a slow.
He didn't
I think he's
play the
gassed.
last
There
couple
was-
of games.
there was-
What is he, 19?
Was he gassed though?
I will
don't
agree
know.
because up until
There's
fit.
a lot of weird shit going on.
I will say this:
there,
up
man.
until Origin, he was sort
Lot
of
of
getting
weird
better
shit
every
going
game,
up
and he
there.
seemed like a better player every game. After Origin, there wasn't a climb anymore, and maybe a bit back down. But I don't think he was dreadful or anything.
Go back to that.
Maybe
go
it
back
helped.
to the podcast and have a look at the date that was recorded.
What date?
It was
when
a
after
week.
Origin.
It was a
early.
week after
Yeah,
Origin.
it wasn't far off.
Oh, that podcast. I thought you were talking about our
It's also
podcast.
interesting. It's also interesting how
It was a
it
week
randomly-
after Origin.
It's weird that
podcast was
that randomly
recorded.
surfaced 2 weeks.
Now?
Like, it's weird.
There's so much bullshit going on up there, and it's not funny.
Albert Keller, I think, is gone now, isn't he? But
he's
Dolphins.
gone.
he's in training.
Wait,
trial
I
or
need to
something.
update my prediction for
Yeah,
the top
because he's
8.
another buy of the year you predicted, wasn't it?
No. He was good for Brisbane when he
Yes,
played. Unfortunately, he tried to punch on with Payne Haas, which
He
Yeah.
trod on his
No one
shoes
would do.
apparently.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
But
anyway,
everything upsets
it's,
Payne these days apparently.
so we're all prognosticating about things we don't actually know about and speculating that this and I sort of agree with it. The joint's a bit fucked, realistically, what are they bringing to the table here, Bart? And you can't write them off. This is a good team.
Absolutely not. They've got a very talented playlist.
all right, Barney, tell us why the Broncos are going to win the wooden spoon this year.
No, I don't have them winning the wooden spoon, and I don't have them that far off the 8, to be honest. But team morale, fitness at the back end of the year. Like, seriously, you do not drop away that badly at the back end of the year if your team's not fit. So what does he do this year? He ramps it up, makes them fit as anything, and like to your point earlier, So what does he do? Does he get them really ramped up at the start of the year and they fall away even worse at the back end of next year?
He's probably
Or
fighting
does
for his
it-
job. He's probably not far up.
Or
yeah.
does he taper them at the start of the year and go, I'm happy to take 4 out of 8 losses and then we'll ramp up from there and then make a premiership tilt? They ain't making no premiership tilt at the back end of this year, Brisbane.
Is there a chance that the board of directors, at least at Brisbane, because of the culture and the history of the club and the success, blah, 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 that if at this point now Brisbane misses the top 8, they move on from
Yeah,
Walters?
absolutely.
100%. Because
Is top 8 because again, I think he's off.
I wouldn't be
off
surprised if
contract
he's
at the
gone
end of
halfway
this
through
year.
the year.
I think he only
I wouldn't
signed a
be
1 year
surprised if they
extension.
get rid of
Penrith
him halfway
Cow-
through the year.
Penrith Cowboys, and then not a bad draw after that, but
They got a better than decent back 5.
pretty good draw.
You got Walsh, Oates, Farnworth,
Oates had his
Staggs,
career
Cobbo.
renaissance last year.
There's some good players in that back 5.
Herbie apparently is now staying.
He's re-signed, yeah.
He had a breakout year. It's now under pressure Stags, so it was going to be the world's best centre.
It's crazy how
After two
Staggs
games
Staggs
and then
is.
to do it.
Apparently carried a separated shoulder or something like that for a lot of
yeah.
last year, which is nice to have an excuse, but he's now got to step up and do it. And Cobbo's got this is now big second. You got second year Cobbo, second year Mam, third year Walsh off for shit second year, no hooker, and
They got a decent
And a
forward
half-
pack, but their rotation
and a halfback,
sucks.
a halfback that's playing on 2 rubber bands and some plasticine.
Palacia was meant to be the next big thing. Did fuck alls. TC
Now he's
Ravati,
going to some
same
club.
thing.
I don't know.
You got Marty Tapau that was absolutely lambasted from left, right, and centre coming from Manly. Now is going back. Does he start in the 17 for the Broncos?
In a way,
Or-
that to me seems like a bit of a waste of a signing, to be honest, because there are other teams out there who probably could have used him in a more
I think he
prominent
starts because
role.
they don't. They probably does start because they don't generally like to start Flegler, do they?
They don't have a utility. There is not a utility
No.
in that team unless you
Billy
probably
Walters is.
Pakes is probably the one,
Well,
and
Billy
then
Walters
that
is a
means that
utility,
Walters
but
has to
Walters
play
playing-
9,
Yeah.
and then Pakes has to play.
No, well, it's
or-
Jock Madden.
Jock Madden's not a first grader.
I
But
don't-
anyway,
He's better than Corey Pakes.
I think we might see Jock pop up a couple times during the season, like we saw him at the Tigers, but I don't.
He's better than
I
Corey
don't see
Pakes.
Mm. outside top 13,
As a hooker,
I
like he's mainly
struggle
played in the
to
halves.
think that there's much coming out of that top 30. Palacia is someone that I can see growing, but he's already signed to go elsewhere next year. So
Pia
why?
He's the next Fafita. I
No,
can't wait.
Palacia is going
Yeah.
to the Dolphins, I'm pretty sure.
No, it's the Titans.
Titans next
Wasn't he
year.
released?
So,
No,
no.
No,
2024.
it's next
Yeah,
year,
it says year
right.
after.
Who was released?
But-
Willison.
I
Like-
mean,
Their top players are going to be Cobbo if he switched on. Reynolds will be their best player
I think so.
week in, week out.
Even if you do play him in a bit of a dinner suit, as you said, with the injuries and that, I think he's still.
It's
Flegler
got to
and
be
Carly-
Ezra Mam has to be Dylan Brown this year.
Yeah, absolutely he has to be.
Otherwise,
And he won't even go close. And Flegler and Corrigan
Sorry,
will be,
Ez.
Flegler and Corrigan will be their best players. Like, Man will be good, but he's not going to be Dylan Brown.
yeah, Carrigan's the
Carrigan's the hope of the side.
The best
and
lock
then
in the game
Flegler
after Yo.
is going to have to bash people
Yeah, I said
and
it.
make sure that they get through the middle of the field. But I wouldn't be surprised if Haas just packs up shop and doesn't play footy for the next 12 months.
I wouldn't
But-
touch. I wouldn't. I mean, from a super coach point of view, I wouldn't be touching Haas with a 10-foot pole because it is.
He's either
And,
got
and he wanted out last year, and mate, the bloke was getting booed at Suncorp. So how well?
he's either got issues with
I feel sorry
Walters,
for-
the
yeah.
club, or just
All of the
personal
above.
issues,
Yeah.
or all three of them. And yeah, what does that lead to? Walsh was no big hit at the Warriors, and if you're going to be the
Well, he's
best
the big
player in
signing.
any team,
So he's the hope of
you
the
should
side.
be
They've
the
let-
best team
They've let two
player at the
very
Warriors.
capable fullbacks go in New and Martin. Tamari Martin, and I don't know if they're getting that out of Reece
I
Walsh.
think Blake Moser will be their best player, and he probably won't get a start until round 6 or 7, and he'll be close to the best
Carrigan will be the
hooker
best
in the
player.
comp.
But
Yeah, but
he's second.
Or
and
Reynolds.
chuck him in as there as well, and Hetherington possibly, but he's still not going to start the. He's probably not going to start in their 17 until round 4 or 5. So
I think
I can see
he
Brisbane
should be on the
getting
bench.
absolutely pumped for 4 or 5 weeks and then having to change up their whole lineup. And Ezra Mann might get them a couple of games here and there, and I can see them struggling.
Yeah.
Barney, your comments make me sad because last year you were going on about Ezra Mam even before he was in Brisbane's side, and now
Yeah,
it seems
I'm
your love for him is just.
No, I'm saying he'll be
dissipating.
the only reason they win.
He's crying right now in Brisbane. he's sad. You said he wasn't as good at a running half as
He's a great running half.
Dylan Brown. You said
Great
he wasn't as good
running
as
half.
Dylan Brown. Now he's sad. He's crying.
No, he's not as good a ball player as Dylan Brown. His running game is fantastic.
He's got some
he
decent,
can't
not
ball
height,
play
but
like
some
Dylan
good size
Brown.
on him. Like he's,
All right, say something positive, Bun. Carrigan's a superstar. They're going to build a nice platform.
They won't finish in the bottom
They
4.
need better service. Finish bottom 4. I can see him going on a streak. I can see injury or origin taking a toll, and they'll finish 9th, I reckon. Probably a safe.
9th?
I've got him top 8, but could miss out.
Well, I was had all the hopes in the world, and now you've shattered me.
Where do I
Why
have
don't you
them? Hang
list your faith in me, the reigning bowl predictions winner?
I will.
on. I've got them 13th.
Well,
So
I
I
know.
do have
What?
them in the bottom 4.
No, you don't, because the bottom 4 is now 17.
17,
So
yeah.
they're just out of
We
the
should
bottom
rename
4
the bowl prediction show at the end of the Jake Clifford.
17, 16,
Hour.
15. Oh, just out.
You've made me sad.
All right.